normal in a stellar range so high that it is total abundance. I was actually so close to doing what I was supposed to do.
What was the lowest ethics condition you ever got in before this all started?
I mean, before?
Before the arrest, for example.
I was an emergency orphan, but I don't think, I was never in a lower condition than emergency.
What sort of things would you get into emergency for?
Well, when my stats were repeatedly down.
Stats on what?
Bringing in money, not enough cases, not enough auditing hours.
What would be your, what would you have to do to work your way out of that condition?
Well, you have to, in order to be out of emergency, what you have to do is you have to do the emergency formula, which is you have to economize and then you have to deliver. In other words, at that point, you would have to do something over and above your normal routines in order to get back in the good graces of the org.
Okay. The next poster over, the one, get the fabulous flag rundowns, L10, L11,
Being
L12.
this, doing this, and having this.
Okay. And those are all separate?
Separate actions which I was going to be able to do by the end of this year. In fact,
What would the phrase, have more you in present time to cause the things you want, translate to if you wanted to...
To talk to a WOG?
To talk to a WOG.
Have less of the past or the future or distraction. Have less bank, reactive bank.
Be more at cause?
Be more at cause, be at cause, not more at cause. Okay. You can't be, you have to be at cause. You operate by postulates. You don't operate by effect. In other words, you're right at 20.0.
Okay. So
action. You're in
to
action.
cause the things you want, what would be the sorts of things that people might want?
To be free. To be free of this physical body. To be free of this stupid, screwed up universe. To be able to just operate as a thetan like we used to be able to do. To build our own universe.
So there's really only one thing that people want, and the want is to become a thetan.
Yeah. No, we are a thetan.
Well, okay, but to have...
But to be able to operate as a thetan. Exactly.
So, is that do you think that's your unique meaning to that phrase, or might other people want some other things? So might people want some material things?
Well, if they're very low on the no to mystery scale.
But if they were at the point at which they could take L10 through L12...
They would not want material things.
So you...
And anybody that's taking L10, 11, and 12 will get rid of their material things to do the action.
So then it would be your opinion that there's really only one interpretation...
To be free.
For the things that you want.
To go to the top of the grade chart. That's what I want.
Okay, but that would also be what anybody who might be
But I also want to clear the planet. I also not only want to be on the top of the grade chart, I want to wear my hat as a thetan. So, fine, even if I can't go to the top of the grade chart and be free, I will be free by wearing my hat.
Okay. But as you see
Because if you clear half of the planet, how could you not go to the top of the grade chart?
Okay.
I mean, Ron will even bring me there.
Okay. But as you see it,
yeah.
There isn't any room really for anyone else who would be at a point at which they could take L10 or 11 or 12 to want anything other than the full awakening of their thetan powers.
What else is there?
That's all I wanted to know. What's the next one over?
Palace City?
No, the one underneath.
Oh, this is a quote from RJ35, Ron's journal, which is a cassette, which he gave at the beginning of, I think it was 1980 or 81. And it says, in all the broad universe, there is no hope for man other than ourselves. This is a tremendous responsibility. I, meaning Ron, have borne it myself too long.
Ourselves means collectively all Scientologists?
I have borne it myself too long. Myself.
But ourselves would mean Scientology as a group?
Yeah, Scientology, the third dynamic.
And the responsibility is really to save mankind?
To set man free.
Okay.
To set Theta free.
Right. What's the next one over?
Palace City. I'll go over there, I guess. City was the first print I ever bought from Bridge Publications. Now it's handled by another org called Author Services.
Mm-hmm.
But this represents a city in space in the Mission Earth series.
Okay. Now, looking at the next column,
Yes.
presumably the first one is irrelevant. The
That's
top
my. That's what I call my ex-wife's grandmother, but it isn't.
Okay. So who's who in technology today?
Yeah.
Now that is an actual award that you received, the
Right.
nomination for which was done by,
Peter Letteries.
and
But there's a lot of silly stuff in there.
okay, but they're, all right,
They relate to my time track, but they have nothing to do with technology and this.
But Technology Today is a real magazine.
Yeah, it's a book actually.
Okay. The next one down,
Squirrel.
just a generic squirrel.
It's a squirrel picture from that I got at the Light Center in North Carolina. Nothing to do with Scientology. I just think it's cute.
Oh, so
This
that
is a
has
squirrel type picture. It's just like a mythological picture, like you're using your word. Okay.
So
it has nothing to do
when you
with
said
science.
squirrel, it means.
It's not Scientology.
Oh, that's all. Okay. And the next is your children, obviously.
Children.
And then on top there, is that also not related?
Yeah, it's painting I like to get, and this was another. This is the girl that I always loved because this is what the Virgin Mary looked like. This is Christ's mother.
Are you sure of that?
Yeah, she looked well. There's a little bit of a difference because of the way the hair was, but this is the closest picture I've ever seen to what she looked like. So now you know why I was so attracted to her.
Understandable.
Okay.
Reasons to get trained.
Very important. This is important. There are 71 reasons why a person should go up the left side of the bridge. And I could spend 2 hours explaining them to you. But know these.
Okay. Then I presume those are a couple of photographs of your family or someone?
No, what, this?
Yeah.
No. This is the cast of Falcon Crest in Dallas.
Oh. What can you do? All right. Let's skip the other one.
This is my favorite picture I have in the house. This picture is Dream Flight. And this is a scene. This is a scene painted by Frank Frazetta. And it's from Ron's, not from Mission Earth. This is from Writers of the Future. It's the only book that I don't own of Ron's. I don't have that book. The reason why is because it was supposed to be in hardback, and I didn't want the. Oh, you picked up the copy of the Hebrew Dianetics book. They have an org in Tel Aviv, by the way.
Okay, and then the one above that?
The one above this is from Mission Earth Volume 2. This is Black Genesis, Fortress of Evil.
Okay. Then
By the way, my number is 224. That's on all these pictures. I've been assigned 224 by the Sea Org. Yeah, that's my number, 224 on there. They didn't have a 224 for that one, so they gave me 13. I was the 13th person to buy that picture.
Okay. I see on the counter there's another e-meter.
That's not an e-meter. That's a learning accelerator.
Oh, okay.
That helps you reinforce things. That's almost like a brainwashing machine. It would help you remember things, except it doesn't use pain.
Well, how does that work?
Well, you pick up the cans and you don't have anyone audit you. This is used to reinforce an idea. In other words, if you're weak in a certain area, it's mainly used to apply ethics conditions.
How would that be done?
Similar to an e-meter. You know what? It has to be charged.
Well, don't worry about it. Just describe it to me. I mean,
Okay.
Tell me about how it functions.
Okay. You set your balance just like you would have it set, and
Wait, let me clarify my point. Tell me what it's used to accomplish.
oh, what it's used to accomplish. Okay, for method word clearing. In other words, or handling ethics conditions.